brought to you by Flagstaff, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
Man, is it cold enough? Good grief, I'm about to freeze to death. Okay, not really. Just sort of. Not as long as I'm in the studio anyway, but goodness gracious. This has got to be the coldest weather all winter long. Hello again, everybody. You got the RV Wingman here, and it's hard to believe that we're only about 30 days from spring break here in the South. And here we got the old vortex coming on us, kind of like the tax man on top of us. But welcome to the RV Show USA, where today we got some very good information for those who are looking to finance an RV. More about that in a little bit. But first, in the way of RV news and some strong words of caution. Well, the numbers are in for 2020. It looks like 2020, in spite of the COVID, was the third best year ever in history for shipments of new RVs. Can you believe it? Considering the parts shortages, which were and are still a very real reality, the interest in RVing continues. And as long as we don't have any fluctuations, spikes in fuel prices and interest rates stay pretty low, I think that 2021 is going to be a pretty good year. Now, that being said, there are rumors out there floating around that the RVs being made right now are of poor quality. Yeah. Some folks say that they are being slapped together by people who don't know what they're doing and they don't give a rip about quality. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Now, some manufacturers may not be putting out their best work, but the ones that I know, they're making better products than ever, and that is a fact. In the coming weeks, we're going to talk more about this and settle this rumor once and for all. Now, going back to the bone-chilling, pipe-busting weather, did you hear about the folks out in Oregon? They were camping in their RV recently. The weather got cold. I mean, really cold. They turned on their propane heater. Well, that was the last camping trip for them forever. After some time, when the rest of the family hadn't heard from them, folks went looking. They found them. Dad, his 17-year-old daughter, as they say, graveyard dead. Oh, and their pet cat and their dog, all dead. They died of, you got it, carbon monoxide poisoning from an LP propane heater. People, please be careful. Those propane heaters are great for warming things up, but they can kill you quick from carbon monoxide poisoning. Every year we hear of accidents like this one, and every one of them could have been prevented if the victims just had a carbon monoxide detector. If you don't have one, if you don't have fresh batteries in yours, don't use a propane heater in your RV. Don't do it. All right, enough nagging already. Hey, let's see. Evidently, there are more and more folks who are buying RVs off the internet, sight unseen. Yeah. Don't ask me why somebody would spend 30, 40, 80, 100 grand or more and not even look at an RV first, but people are doing it. And they're just buying them. They see a nice one on Facebook Marketplace or maybe an RV trader. Next thing you know, bam, they're buying it. Most of the time, there's more than just a little bit of buyer's remorse eventually. But what do you do if you find a great deal on an RV that is far away? Well, here's a typical situation from a man named Rick out in California.
Hi, Alan. This is Rick. I listened to I watched your YouTube cast on RV inspections, and I found it enjoyable. However, I'm left at the end with a question. What is your suggestion for, besides asking someone what their background is, which they could be truthful or not on, for inspecting RVs? I'm really interested in your input because I've got the opportunity to purchase a fifth wheel that's about 2,400 miles away from where I live, and I'd love to have a good person look at it in that area, and I'm not seeing many on one of those certified RV inspector type sites, and I truly welcome your advice or just a direction to go.
All right, so he's got an interesting situation, I think. We spoke, actually, and there's no RV inspector in his area, and he's stumped. If you find yourself in this kind of a situation, here's what I told Rick. I said to call a couple of the nice campgrounds in the area where the RV is near. Call them. Ask for the name of the most reliable RV technician in that area. There's always RV techs nearby campgrounds. This time of year in New York, where this RV is, they'd probably love to get a phone call, get a little bit of business. Find out the hourly rate. Ask them to go and spend 2 or 3 hours reviewing the RV. Look at everything from top to bottom, up to down, sideways. Ask for anything that may need repairs. Ask them about smells. pets, soft floors, leaky windows. Get up on the roof. Have him take plenty of pictures. He may not be an official RV inspector, but he's probably got more knowledge than you and I do. And maybe for a few $100, he can give you some peace of mind. So my closing thought on buying an RV sight unseen is don't do it unless you have it inspected. If nothing else, have a different set of eyes. Check it out, eyes that are more trained than yours before you pull the trigger. So when first-time RV buyers go to a dealer and buy an RV, the only thing they can relate that experience to, I think, is like buying a car or truck, right? I mean, it's got wheels, sort of like a car or truck. Or is it more like a house? Or is it a little bit of both? Understanding how buying and owning an RV is different from buying and owning a car or truck can prevent you from making a very bad purchase decision. I recently spoke with Anthony Yoder from Rockwood about this topic. If I'm going to buy an RV, and I've never owned one before, Anthony, what are the differences between the buying an RV and maybe buying a car or a truck that I might want to know about before I go into a dealer?
Yeah, so I'll say the biggest thing right off the bat with buying an RV, you'll find with new vehicles, it's all franchised. So Ford owns all the dealerships technically. So they're a franchise, and you'll see, in some cities, 2, 3, 4 dealerships, right? In the RV industry, dealers are given a little bit more space, so we don't have 2, 3 dealers selling Rockwood or selling Flagstaff in the same city. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not franchised like you'd find in the automotive industry. So therefore, we have a lot less power over each individual dealer, where in the automotive industry, Ford, Chevy, whatever, they have all the power in the world over each and every single one of those retail locations since they are franchised.
So how does that affect me, the RVer, if I have a situation out of town or whatever in terms of getting service work performed on my RV? Can I still get it done at a Rockwood dealer, for example, or what's the deal?
Absolutely. So one of the things, any Forest River dealer is certified to do any warranty work on any Forest River trailer, whether or not they sell Rockwood or they sell Flagstaff or they sell Wildwood, Salem, whatever it may be. They can do warranty work on any Forest River trailer. Now, with that being said, it's not always that you'll be made a priority per se. Now, if you're traveling, you're on the road, something happens to you, you live in Texas, you're going through Colorado, a dealer is a lot more likely to take care of you. They know that it was nothing under your power, none under your control that happened to you, and they want to get you back out on the road soon. And so the one thing that I'll see, I get a field a lot of phone calls here, a ton of them. And a lot of times what I'll get is it's not the person that bought from their local dealer that has issues getting servicing after the season. Generally speaking, it's someone that bought from states away, miles away, where they're having issues getting priority servicing, sometimes even on small items. If you purchase locally, you're building a relationship with somebody, and that's somebody that's going to want to take care of you.
Realizing that happy campers not only have an RV that they're happy with, but they understand that, like Anthony said, the relationship with the dealer is extremely important. There are very few exceptions where I think it's okay to buy a RV from a dealer that may be 1,000 miles or more away from you. Those, unless they are, those dealers have excellent reviews. My advice is buy the brand of RV that you like from a local dealer. If you like the RV but you don't like your local dealer, you can most likely find another one an hour or two away. Trust me on this, at some point the relationship that you have with your dealer is going to be important to you. It may be next month, it may be next year, but you will see the value of that dealer relationship sometime in the future. So let me tell you what's still ahead with this pipe-busting cold weather popping out all over the country. 10 of the dumbest RV winter camping mistakes that you can make, and how these are some really good ones. And we'll have a lot of information about RV financing with our friends Tony and Peggy Barthel with Stress Less Camping. They've connected with a woman who works in the finance department of a big RV dealership, and she'll talk about how to get the best interest rate, where to get the best RV loan, about down payments, everything to do with RV finance. As always, we want to hear from you. We do. You got a show comment or a question or a situation you'd like to share? We're just a phone call away. Give us a call 24/7 at 1-330-WINGMAN. That's 1-330-WINGMAN.